There she be. She welded up. It's cold in here. Furnace is running. It's like, what is it today? It's warm out today compared to what we've been having. It's like 5 degrees, I think. Franken American units, the Fs. Hey guys, what's going on? Hopefully a short, well, what do you call these videos where people on the internet are talking out of their ass and you just gotta prove them wrong. This is one of those videos. You guys know I have a few or a couple, how many now? I think 2 right now, Subarus. And well, because you got a car, you know, you're on a couple of like those car sites on the F book. So I'm having my morning coffee, going through, looking at, yep, oh yeah, Packers lost, oh yeah, yep, oh, Biden's shit his pants again. Oh, Subaru guys, he's got a ear broken off next to one of the water jackets on top of the block. We'll show you here in a minute. And he's like, how do I fix this? Well, JB weld it up, insert, you know, the typical, how you gonna fix holes in a block. And well, I'm going through, and first thing that popped in my head, well, if you're a competent welder, you should be able to clean it up, weld it up, drill it, tap it, and then it'll be like new again. So I'm going down to reply, because, you know, trying to help the guy out and do the repair right before he gets talked into, like, you know, bubble gum and stuff like you see on those 5-minute hack videos that are just hacks. Don't listen to those. Those guys don't know what they're talking about. Anyhow, I'm going through and I see comment after comment of guys going, oh, you can't weld that up. Oh, that's cast alloy. That's impossible to weld up. One guy even as far as like insulting Boilermakers. And he said, how do you say that? He said, I know Boilermakers that wouldn't even touch that, or I know Boilermakers that couldn't even weld that. Just total insult to Boilermakers. And I'll tell you something about welders. We'll dig on each other. We'll call each other names. We'll pull pranks, do everything to each other. But at the end of the day, the welders will stick together. They'll stick up for one another. And well, here we are. So, Boilermakers, you're welcome on this one. So, yeah, like I said, the ear broke off in his block, and all these guys are just like, nope, unweldable, can't do it whatsoever. And you know, me being the guy I am, I just happen to have a Subaru block back here, and well, I figured, well, let's just pull that out and knock an ear off and weld her up. I'm probably not going to drill and tap because, you know, at the point of it being welded, well, then from there it's just drill and tap like you would do. But the point is that all these guys, one after another, say these blocks are unweldable. I wouldn't have cared, you know, it wouldn't have bothered me, but the one guy saying he knows Boilermakers that won't even touch it, that did it right there. So yeah, come along, let's go grab a Subi block and weld on her. We're gonna have a good time. Scuba-roo. Where are we? We're one of these up here. This one's got broken off bolts. That's pretty typical. Oh, there was another guy talking about. He was laughing at me for putting RVT, room temperature, RTV, on my O-rings for my water crossover pipe on top here. Well, I'll show you right here why I put RTV on these O-rings. All right, here we are at one of the top pipes. This is the top of the block. Piston cylinders are on the side here and over on that side over there. These are the water crossover ports with the O-rings, and you can see this O-ring, especially right here, all of that corrosion from the aluminum right here. That corrosion builds up in aluminum. It's called submolecular corrosion. It's where the corrosion actually gets underneath the what is that coating that aluminum gets on it by itself? Not anodized. I can't think of it right now. Aluminum gets that film or coating on it all by itself that keeps it from corroding in general. But when you put something like rubber against aluminum, it cannot create that coating on its own, and you get what happens here. And you see this in a lot of places and you don't realize it. Well, on new vehicles, the aluminum bodied vehicles, this happens because they paint the aluminum, and then the aluminum can't build up that layer, that oxide layer. Is that what it is? Yeah, oxide layer. The aluminum can't build up that oxide layer or maintain it because of the paint that's on it covering it. So then you get what this stuff is. It's actually corrosion that happens underneath that oxide layer, or underneath the coating, or underneath whatever's protecting that aluminum. Is a submolecular corrosion. And right here you can see that O-ring is no longer doing anything, so then you get a leak. Well, when I put these blocks together, just like any other sealing surface that's flat, not counting this O-ring, I cover this in RTV, and you put it together and it's just like a sealed mating surface, like an oil pump, like the case has, like anything that you put on a motor that doesn't have an actual gasket. You use an RTV and, well, it works fine. It's different than like a coating for this, it's different than a coating that blocks out the aluminum from getting that. Well, now I forgot it again. Look at it. I just said it, and now look how stupid I am. RTV is different than like an actual rubber O-ring making contact with the aluminum, especially when coolant is involved. Coolant, for whatever reason, is very acidic or something. It does something to aluminum, and you see like on its inside how badly this is corroded. RTV keeps that from getting in there. An O-ring, you know, it gets in there. It works its way in there and corrodes a little bit, and then works its way a little bit further in and corrodes a little bit. RTV seals it and keeps it from getting in there. Not to say it still can't happen, but it does a much better job than just an O-ring by itself in a coolant atmosphere. I don't know. That's what I do. Anyhow, what these guys are arguing about is this ears broke off for this guy. This one right here. Or one on the other side, I don't know, one of the sides. This is super common for these bolts to get rusted and get stuck in here, or this crossover pipe on Subarus is a problem child. Anyhow, they are saying this is unweldable. So let me go get a punch and a hammer, and I'm gonna knock this ear off of here, because I can, and we're gonna clean this up and weld this up. And you can see this is dirty as shit. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun with these guys today. Back you guys up just a little bit, just to get you guys out of the way so I don't hit you. And I know already somebody's gonna have an excuse of like why this works for me. They're gonna be like, wow, you knocked it off, it's clean already, or some other bullshit. And there's always an excuse. They'll say, no, you can't do it. And then you do it, and then they're like, well, that's because of this and that, and you know, because you're different. You're not like the guys on the internet. There, so that's kind of what that guy is putting up with right there. He's got a knocked off ear, actually corroded away and broke off for him, and things of like that nature right there. So I don't know, I'll get you guys in here to see a little bit. Can you see that? Like it's just knocked right off. And yes, you probably could still get a bolt down in here. It'll hold-ish, but they're talking about like JB Weld and stuff on here. I mean, it's gonna stick until you put a bolt in there. There's nothing for it. It's not gonna hang on. You're gonna drill it, tap it even, put a bolt in there, and that JB Weld is not gonna hold a bolt in there. They're talking about helicoiling or time inserting or any of that. Still, the end of this ear is gone. Like you're not gonna, what are you gonna get in there? You're not gonna get nothing in there. There's like not even a 1/4 inch of thread left down in that hole when this ear is gone. So the repair to do this right, if a guy wants to do this right, you guys can be all hack jobs if you want, and then later on when it's leaking again, you can be like, wow, why is it leaking again? I just fixed that. Just did it. Why is it leaking again? And then they get all pissed off at the car and they're like, this damn car, breaking all the time. Oh, look at all that corrosion in there. Oh, I bet you that was sealing excellent. Ah, yep. Don't put RVT in there, RTV. That won't do nothing. I don't know, why am I even cleaning this up? I'm not putting this together. We're just welding up the thing. Yeah, that, look how good that sealed. That was awesome. Yeah, you can tell that nothing was leaking there. Number one, first thing you gotta do is clean up around here as best as you can. I'm gonna try this. Actually looks pretty good. Down in the hole. Yeah, let's do it. I'm just gonna send a drill bit down in there. And you are gonna be drilling and tapping this out anyhow, so. There, that'll get, well, most of that junk out of there. Still see a little thread. I don't know if you can see how deep that hole is now. I mean, it's not, maybe not even a 1/4 inch once that ear is gone down past that. Hardly anything there. I mean, my blow jobber. Oh man, I can hear the excuses already. Wow. You got the motor out of the car. You're up on a bench. Everything is easy for you. Guaranteed they're gonna say, oh, I didn't say it couldn't be done. I'm just saying that, you know, it's hard to do it. I've heard it all 1,000 times before. They're all internet warriors until somebody does it, and then they're like, wow, I didn't mean that. Warm up the area. You get some heat in there, that helps. All right, and you see how that condensation go away? I mean, the warmer you get this, the better it's gonna weld. If you can get this up to 400 degrees, that's awesome. But even a couple hundred was gonna help. Now, first step, take your TIG weld and torch, and you get on here, and you just gonna heat this up more, melt it a little bit, and bring those impurities to the surface, and then we're gonna clean it again. So let's just get in here, and hopefully the camera doesn't get all jacked up from the high frequency here. Oh, I'm actually shocked there isn't much impurities in there at all. Must have been from all that awesome cleaning we did. And then you clean some more. I'm gonna crank up the welder. I don't know what I'm only 70 amps. Wow, no wonder. All right, a little bit more. Wow, there's some amperage. Oh, now we're cooking with gas and electricity. Yeah, that's pretty clean already. You would just keep working it down in that hole. Bring up those impurities and clean again. Right, and then we just, this is, I don't know what this is. 4043. Typically on blocks and stuff I would use 5356, but this will work for all intensive purposes here. Hopefully you guys are recording it. I don't know, sometimes that high frequency like really messes with stuff, but we're gonna fill it right in. You get a nice bubble and stuff here so we can grind her down, and then it'll be ready to tap or drill and tap. Get a puddle going and just feed her in there. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's unweldable. Oh, you can't do that. What kind of craziness are you doing? I don't even understand. Oops. Lack of gas coverage on that side. That was my fault. I was getting carried away. Yeah, a little bit of... I wasn't getting the gas coverage. I was hitting it like this, and yeah, I pulled in some shit. So there's that little booger right there, but there's like a ball. You can see there. See it? See it? I'll take care of that impurity. Don't worry. Show you a little tricker here with aluminum. Instead of grinding that off, you just take some side snips and there. See? Easy. And then, well, just to make it right, we'll come in and take care of that, and I'll just build that up a little bit more, and then that year will be there. There she be. She welded up. There she is, welded up. Must be magic. Oh man. Well, that's because, you know, this or that or the other thing or other excuses. Man, the excuses that fly on the internet with those guys is just comical. That's one of the reasons I love it, is just loving to hear the excuses of, why? Why you do that? Why you prove me wrong? I don't like being proved wrong. I'll come up with some excuse. Why? What? Well, camera shut off because GoPros are a pile of craps. So there we are. Welded up. Still hot. And I can just hear the excuses of why. Wow, that's because of this and that. Oh, I don't know. You got some magic shit there, boy. I just love the internet excuses of these kids. They just, I don't know. No, I'm gonna go after this with a grinder because, well, I don't care. If you want to do this super right, well, you throw it in the mill and mill that off. But honestly, off on the side here, this ear hole, as long as you get it ground flat-ish, it's good enough. The sealing surface is right there. There she flat. And then what? I mean, came this far. Mazel. What size is that? No. Go up a couple of sizes. That? No. That? Yeah. Yeah, that could work. Here again, while you had it in the mill, you would just dial in this hole and stuff, but we're not in the mill. We're up here on the bench top. That's going to be one of the excuses of why this is so easy for me, is because, well, you're up on the top of the bench. That's freaking easy. Anybody could do that on the bench. We were talking about when it's in the car. All right, freaking tap. We need a freaking tap, bro. Here, freaking tap. What is this? I think it is. Yeah, I think that's it. 6 mil, 1.03. And here again, if you're in the mill, you would just set this up and do it nice and straight since you're already set up for drilling. And use lube too, which I didn't do here. Go until that bottom's out. Tapped. How about this? Yeah, it gets the idea across. I mean, there you are. Bolt hole. There you are, guys. Welded, drilled, tapped Subaru block. The unweldable. Oh my gosh. That's like impossible repair right there. The internet told me. So, yeah. There you go. Have a great day. Come back for more lessons in real life. Not that internet bullshittery that you hear all the time of, can't do it. No, you can't do it. Don't even try. Get out your bubble gum and JB Weld. Do it like the rest of us vaping Subi drivers, yeah! Can't be done. You know how many times I've heard can't be done in my life? Everybody's sitting on the couch and can't be done. It just can't be done. No way in hell it can be done. Oh yeah, and yeah, you boiler makers, you guys keep on keeping on. Don't listen to these fools. They ain't out there. They're on that there internet telling everybody can't be done. Oh yeah, remember? Then their excuses in. Well, I never said it couldn't be done. I just said it's gonna be a lot of work. Well, that was an honest, I don't know, 13 minutes. I bet you even the moderators on the Subi pages are gonna take this video down because they're gonna be like, oh wow, we can't have people proving our Subi people's wrong. Got to get back to actual work here. It's enough playing around. We got stuff to do. Yeah. Okay. Have a great day, gentlemen. Come back and watch some more. Yeah. Video for this is coming up.